Okay, I think we are live. Can you see the live button up there? Yeehaw! We are on early Spiritual Events Directory community. We've come on early with Wellness Conversations, the Woo Woo series. Here we are back again, normally 6 to 7, but today we are going 4 to 5. Now, the Woo Woo series is presented by our wellness community and sponsored by Spiritual Events Directory, which is awesome. A lovely little official gift that occurred throughout the week. So thank you to Sarah. So here we are, and we've got Julie Lewin back in the space, everyone. Julie Lewin, medical intuitive. Welcome to the show, Julie.
Thank you so much, Michele. I'm excited.
I know. Last time you and I were just having a little laugh because last time we had you. You were our very first special guest, and you were flying from Sydney back to Brisbane. We got you at the airport. We had those children running around.
It was probably the most challenging interview and conversation I think I've ever had.
That was just hilarious. But that's what I love. That's what I love about our journey. That's what I love about where we are at on the journey. That's what I love about life. That, in numerology, any challenges with 6 Julie and the perfectionist is born, right? And to me, what's wonderful about where we are at is that is realizing that there's awesome in being flawsome. So I love that the whole perfectionist thing for me is right out the door. I love that we are real, down to earth, grounded, doing it, flying by the seat of our pants, feeling the fear, doing it anyway, and having to manage those obstacles. That's called life.
It is life, indeed.
It's life. So yippee, but now we're really going to get the full extent. That show was awesome anyway, but we're going to get the full extent of your brilliance tonight because you don't have all of those distractions. So Julie, I know. So the Woo Woo series is all about the unknown, the unique, and the unusual, Julie. So you just said something before we went live. Did I want to know about what did you say about the...
about the dying process.
Wow.
My experience of being present at the dying process.
Let's talk about that little story. We're going to do some complimentary readings. Julie, audience, SED audience, Julie has her own deck of cards, her own program. Julie reads and teaches and speaks just the full extent. What's that? In showbiz, it's called the three threats. So Julie, when you can sing, dance, and act. So Julie's got it all. We are going to do some complimentary readings, but we're going to do some woo-woo talk as well. So tell us all about it. When did just the one experience, or have you had a couple?
More, yeah, many.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Did you know that the soul has a color?
Right. No, I did not.
And I feel like I can speak confidently about that because I've seen it twice.
Wow.
And it's a very, very pale avocado green.
Right. Okay. And was that the colour of your soul or the soul?
The soul of the person who was passing, because I've been in the room twice when someone passed.
2 different people have passed and you saw the same colour?
Yes, 2 different people, my dad and my grandma.
Wow.
So I was just sharing these stories with a friend last night, and she said, "Oh my God, Julie, you have to share those stories.
Yes.
It will help people with their grief process." And so I thought, I would like to share these stories with you today.
That'd be great.
So the first time it happened was when my dad passed.
Yeah.
And we knew that he was unwell, and we knew that the time was coming. And so I was standing at the end of his bed, and look, my dad was nearly 78, and he had lifelines. We'll call them lifelines. So he had a lot of creases in his face. Yeah. And I was standing there and I was watching, and I saw this color. It's that pale avocado green, come up out of the crown. But this is how I knew. I've got goosebumps. All the lines went out of his face.
Really?
Like, he had the smoothest face, and I went, yeah, he's passed. And our family growing up, my dad always said, death is going to be my last big adventure. So he was actually calling death an adventure.
Yeah.
And we all looked on death as a transition to a new adventure that we just can't follow right now.
We really do.
Yeah, yeah. And so then my dad appeared to one of my brother's sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And spoke to her the night that he died in a dream and said, look, love, I've got both legs. Now, what my brother's sister-in-law didn't know was that they were going to remove one of my dad's legs because he had blood clots. But it transitioned that he couldn't have it removed, and he ended up passing. Yeah. And so he was thrilled to still have both legs.
Wow.
And so that was that first incident where I saw that green.
Yeah.
And then about 3 years later, my grandma was 93, and, you know, she was just a frail little old lady and very wrinkled and shriveled. And my mum and I, we nursed her through that last 6 months of her life. And we knew that the time was close.
Yes.
I was saying to my friend last night that being present when someone dies is, to me, like
a real gift
to a baby. Like they're actually going through the canal, through the crown.
Well, that's what, you know, it's funny you say that, because that's what I have always instinctively believed, that when I leave here, I'm being born somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so I was standing in the doorway and my grandma was lying there, and then I saw the exact same colour again come up the wall behind her head. And I said to my mum, Grandma's gone. Mum said, gone where? I said, gone. And Mum said, Julie, what are you talking about? I said, Grandma's just died. She said, how do you know? I said, I saw her leave. But the other thing, Mum, all the wrinkles have fallen out of her face.
Really?
Yes. So that's twice. So all the wrinkles, like the soul in the body, the stress of life, it wrinkles the skin. So
amazing.
It was beautiful to be standing in the room when my grandma passed. So this is part of the story that I'm really excited to share, because I was in a spiritual community and we learned how I did a puja. I don't know if anyone knows what a puja is, but you use candle and light, candle, incense and flowers. And I had some holy water. So I went outside immediately and I picked all the flowers I could see in my mum's garden, in her neighbour's garden. And I came back, I had a beautiful basket and I lit the incense and I did the candle. And then I placed flowers on the chakras in honour of my grandma's children. Wow. And then I did it in honour of my mum's children and then in honour of my children. And then I ran out of flowers. So the rest of the family, I just said a blessing for them. And I had one white flower and I placed it on her left shoulder. And I said, Grandma, this is honour of Mary's youngest son, James. And he loves you and wishes you all the best on your journey. And after I finished that, Mum said, Julie, I don't know what you've done, but the house feels amazing. So we have the ability to shift the energy in a home where someone has passed. And so I rang my brother and we were doing the calls to tell everyone, but he didn't answer. And he rang me an hour later and he said, you're ringing to tell me Grandma died. I said, yeah. you know? He said, she came and told me and thanked me for the white flower.
I
And
love
I
it.
said, James, there was only one white flower, and I gifted it to her in honor of you. And it was truly beautiful. We had her lying in her bed, all these flowers on her when the funeral man came, and it was just very sacred and
That
beautiful.
is so lovely.
Yeah.
So lovely. When you said that about your brother, I got goosebumps at that point.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a couple of
Yes.
the
Yes.
transitions that I've been present to.
That's wonderful. And guess what, Margie who's joined us, Margie said, oh my God, I remember when my mum passed, I was at home outside and heard her call me, and like a green light near the clothesline. Would that then have been her soul?
Yes, yes, yes. Because when my dad's funeral happened, there was a green light on the wall at the where we had the service at the crematorium. Yes.
How wonderful! I've got some death quite a bit. We lost my youngest brother at 21 in a car accident, and there were lots of woo-woo stories. Woo-woo stories at the time that he passed. So I'll share that another time. But I absolutely, or I can share it when we come back. We'll do a couple of readings. But I absolutely believe that yes, we're all connected at that soul level. It is the soul ultimately that it's there at the beginning and there at the end. And and we know there's so many. I mean, you can comment. Ladies and gents out there in Spiritual Events Directory land, you can make a comment, but there's so many stories, isn't there, Julie, of knowing it, hearing it, oh, it's just amazing. And it's reassuring. It's reassuring because we don't like to. It's funny that death happens to all of us, to every single one of us, and yet it's the least talked about topic.
I know. If I wasn't doing what I'm doing, I would do that as like every day if people wanted me to help them transition. Yeah.
Wow. Right. Who wants the reading? Because Julie, tell us a little bit about Arikira.
So Arikira is it's my life's work, basically. It's a healing modality. It's helping people. I've created all these templates that help. It's like little miracles happening in the body. You can actually create shift in your body. I've had people, I heal burns. I've had people who've been numb for 40 years, and we reconnect the nerves with our mind, and then they move their body. They have feeling back in their body. So we are amazing instruments.
We really are.
Yeah.
We really are.
I've unlocked Aladdin's cave with figuring out how to heal the body. And so Arikira was born, and I created a deck of oracle cards, and each card has a message. It has an exercise, and it's made up of the 7 bodies that I work with: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, auric, energy, and etheric.
Yes.
And I then have 7 qualities for each of the bodies. So that makes 56 cards. And basically all the information in the book and with the cards is how I live my life day to day.
Yes.
And I've found a peaceful zone. And look, I experience it like everybody, but I come back to rest.
Yes.
And, if you ask me what I would like, it's to share that vault, that Aladdin's cave with everyone in the world.
Yes. Lovely. Okay, we've got Margie has said yes, please, to an Arikira reading. And ladies, we've got, if you aren't already a fan of Julie's page, it's under, it's Julie Lewin Medical Intuitive. We've got the link in there, but Julie, actually, Julie, it comes under,
Medical Intuitive Julie Lewin.
Julie Lewin. And every time I tag you, I have to actually type in celestial.
I know. Celestial consciousness. they wouldn't let me change the name, but I might be able to now.
Yes.
I'm going to see if I can change the name.
Lovely. Well, Julie has very generously, to everybody in Spiritual Events Directory land, if you go to Julie's page and like it, obviously we want to generate some support for Julie's community. So go and like the page, come back and say done, and you go into the draw to win a 30-minute reading with Julie Lewin, which is awesome. Okay, quite the gift. So, but we're going to offer, some mini readings. So, let's do one for Margie.
Let's go. So I've knocked 3 times. So let's see, Margie. And how I use these cards is, oh, there we go. They fly out.
I love how that happens with you.
I know. And so 2 cards flew out. So you get 2 cards.
Woo!
So we have angelic and we have in the flesh. So let's talk about in the flesh. It says, be present in your body. So what that's saying to me is that you might be feeling like you're not grounded. So come back in and get really grounded, walk barefoot on the earth and just be fully present. And then it's saying, expect messages from the angelic realm. So here's what I'm feeling, Margie, that the more grounded you are in your body, the more potent and powerful the angelic messages are. Some people feel like they have to actually go out to receive. I've got goosebumps like literally to my toes. Is you fully present in your, I don't know, can you see my goosebumps? The hairs standing up on my arm. You will get really powerful messages the more present you are in your body. So that's my message for Margie.
That is awesome. And you know what's interesting about that, because I know in numerology, Margie is the master number 11, and they just inherently vibrate to that highest level. So it's not a huge stretch for her to reach the psychic, the mediumship, the intuitive, the subtle and unseen realms. So that makes sense to me that in actual fact, because she's got that natural gift, some of us have to, as you said, get off the ground to get to the gift. But in actual fact, for Margie, and she's all about the body anyway, the more grounded she is, the more the gift she accesses. Wow. That is amazing. Okay, now here we've got lots of lovely ladies coming in. Oh, Tracy Hazel. Hello, Tracy. She's a terrific supporter of Spiritual Events Directory and our wellness community. We'll pull a card. We'll see what falls out for you.
Really? Oh, there we go. 2 cards. Everyone's getting 2 cards today.
Wow.
So we have the religious card, which is a deep belief and reverence for God. Now, I always say, if you don't like the word God, replace it with universe, source, whatever works for you. But it's a deep connection and belief and reverence in that. So that's honoring that. And then you get the intellectual card. So this is part of the mental body. This is part of the spiritual body.
Right.
And it's relying on your intellect, not emotions and feelings. So when I get that card, I feel that you may be feeling like you're in your head too much, and it's about coming down, using this deep connection with source and come down into your heart and really, just drop down and come out of your head and down into your heart, and then everything will flow. So I'm feeling like flow is actually like just right for you, and you can almost touch it. So just drop down into your heart. And it may even be that you serve your altar, but set up a little ritual that's going to drop you down into your heart. And that's really going to make a difference in 2020. It's being conscious of that connection with source and having some beautiful sacred elements that when you touch them or work with them, that you'll drop down into that space.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And your the Arakira cards can actually be purchased on your website as well, Julie. Yeah. What's the website address?
julielewin.com/shop.
Wonderful. So, ladies, if you want, there's a complimentary 30-minute reading up for grabs. Just go to Julie Lewin. It's actually the other way around, Medical Intuitive Julie Lewin. Go to Julie's page like that. Let us know that you've done that. You'll go into the draw. We've got a couple of top fans here, and I always love to, we love to be supported. So, and in return for that support you. So how about we see what falls out for, let's see, Melissa Ireland, Julie.
Hey, Melissa. So let's go. It's not quite fallen out. They're getting ready. Okay, I'm getting goosebumps, so that means that I have to pull the next top card.
Oh, I love it. And isn't it wonderful? It's all about symbolism, and it's all about getting in touch with how spirit speaks to you.
Absolutely, 100%. So this is the Alive card, and it's part of the energy body. And it says to be alive is to live with faith and hope. So what this is saying for me is to when something comes up for you, is instead of getting I'm going to say the words that I'm getting fractured and feeling like you're a bit discombobulated, that's the time when you come back and you tap into your faith and hope.
Yeah, that's for Melissa. Yeah.
Yeah, so Melissa, it's it is, yeah, I'm feeling like come back into faith and hope. And if anyone wants a copy of the card so that you can actually do something with it,
yes,
please just let Michele know and I will send you a copy. So faith and hope. What I'm also seeing here, I look at the card as well and see what's jumping out, and all these little dots here, dots of light. So what I'm feeling for you, Melissa, is that when you walk in faith and hope, you actually are you're lighting the light in the hearts of all these people, and there's a ripple that goes out. So it feels like you're just doing something for yourself, but you're actually helping other people light the flame of hope and faith and trust in their lives as well.
Wow, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the message that I've got from Melissa.
That's lovely. Thank you very much for that. So, ladies, we've been talking about it. It's also about woo-woo talks, and Julie started us off talking about dying, talking about you know, what happens there at the end, and Julie has had a couple of experiences where she saw the soul leaving the body of her father and her grandmother, and that it was an avocado green.
Very pale, very pale. Avocado green, yeah.
We'd love to hear some, you know, if any of you out there have got some, you know, woo-woo stories that you've experienced yourself. My story, Julie, is that, as I said to you before, my youngest brother died in a car accident. I'd been away for 3 years. So here's some of the woo-woo that surrounded that. I'd been away for 3 years, and I flew from London to Bali, and I was, you know, very interested in all of this woo-woo stuff. I'd bought my first deck of tarot cards. I was playing with my tarot cards, and the particular draw that I had, spread that I had, when I looked it up, I'm not joking, straight out of the textbook, it said, when I read out this particular description, forthcoming family gathering will not turn out the way that you think. You know, will be quite, and I sort of thought, oh, I didn't want to believe that. I went, oh, you know, I was coming home after being away for 3 years. It would be amazing. Anyway, I flew in on the Saturday. My brother had been killed in a car accident the day before.
Wow.
Right? Wow. So there you go. I was imagining, you know, that I'd be the belle of the ball, the star of the show. You know, I'd been away. I was coming back. I thought I looked fantastic. I was a woman of the world. The other funny thing, so I had that straight out of a book telling me that all was not going to be the way that I thought it was going to be. My brother middle brother, he had the car that my youngest brother was killed in. My middle brother had been in that car the week before, a couple of weeks before, and the weather conditions that were prevalent on the night he died were the same conditions my other brother experienced on this particular night. And he said when he came home, he said, Michele, this is, you know, afterwards when we're all talking about it, he said he had gone out, it was raining, he just started to get quite anxious in the car. He felt like the car was closing in on him. He was feeling like he was a sardine, you know, he was about to get squashed in this car, and he came home and he just went, oh, he didn't want to get back in that car again. And a couple of weeks later, my brother was killed on a night that was just like that. And the car, when, you know, when I found the car, it was all smashed in. And then some other friends who were good friends with my brother, there was a lot of woo-woo, but I'll just end with this one. They were also good friends with him. When she had heard from her partner that he'd been killed in a car accident, she had gone home from work and threw herself on the bed, she said, and she was crying, and something just made her lift her head, and she lifted her head and she looked up to by the gate. He had been there about a month beforehand, was the last time they'd seen him, and she saw him at the gate waving.
Wow.
Wow.
I've got goosebumps.
Me too. So, and I've heard so many of these stories, you know, and as you said, they're so reassuring. There is something else. There is something more, and we need to talk. We need to talk more about it. So I love it. I love we've got the show that we can talk about the woo woo. Right. What about some more readings? Let's have a look, Julie. Thank you. So sorry for your loss from Melissa. That's lovely. It was a long time. And Julie, don't you find with grief that grief is it's a journey? You just can't be you can't pull yourself through. You just have to take the journey. Yes. And then sometimes, you know, I always explain it that you never get over it, but you find a way to move past it. And you can be fine for years, and then suddenly, or you can be fine for months. Yeah. And then suddenly it comes back up and out again, doesn't it? And you think, oh, and you just, you know, feel the loss again.
You do. Like even just recently, my dad died 20 years ago next week. Yeah. And I just said to my mum, gee, I can feel Dad so close. Yeah. And it was like he was walking right with me. It was like a palpable thing. And I really missed him. Yes. And then after a few days that passed, and you know the really interesting thing, and I'm just having the awareness now, my mum's been unwell for the last 6 weeks. Right. And she's just come home from hospital today after pneumonia. And so it was almost like my dad was like there in the house, like helping her. Yes. Yeah. So I've just had that awareness right now. So, yeah, but now I feel like she feels really good. She feels like how she felt 6 months ago, and that level of is today the day, is today not the day, that's gone now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How lovely. It's so soulful. Okay, we've got and speaking of that, Melinda Mary would love a reading, please. Had a lot of loss, needs some guidance. Melinda Mary.
Melinda Mary, let's have a look and see what the cards have got. Whoa. Okay, so there's actually 3 cards, which I feel like 4 cards. So I'm going to put them all together. And it's really interesting because 2 are ones that we've already had. Wow. Alive, to live with faith and hope. Intellectual, relying on your intellect, not your emotions or feelings. And then we've got the mental body. So that's the master card there. It says the mind is not the vehicle of the ego. The mind is the vehicle of the ego, not the ego itself. And then it's set an intention with a finite result. So let's have a look at all of that. Yeah. Okay, so the objective was the one that came out first. So I'm feeling like it's really important for you, and it's Melinda Mary, isn't it?
Melinda Mary.
So Mary's my mum's name. So that's really nice. That it's important for you to set an intention for this year. And it's important that you set that intention with faith and hope. I feel like those two really go together. And I'm feeling that these two mental body cards, the intellectual and the mental body, it's saying that it's okay for you to be in your head and to be thinking, but to achieve your intention, it's to do both. The hope and the faith is down in the heart, and it's combining the faith and the hope with the mind, and not listening to people who say, or you've got a big ego, or it's your ego talking. I think that it's important for you to just feel into your heart and know what's in your heart, because that's who you are, not the perception of somebody external. And I feel really like strongly about that for you to I feel like it's the dance of you, not the dance of what somebody else wants you to do. And I feel that you have I feel that you actually have really great deep faith and hope, and it's been a bit your foundations have been rocked a little bit, and so I feel compelled to say just settle back into that connection you have with Source, and the faith and the hope will visit you. You will feel it. I've got goosebumps all down my legs, and you just have to set that intention to do that. Isn't that beautiful?
That is absolutely awesome.
I hope that is helpful for you, Melinda Mary.
Yeah. Now, of course, there's always something to be managing when you go live, and usually I can get the comments from my phone, but for some reason I've got an Apple, and they've updated, and every time they update, they coerce you through all the techo things to do this, that, and the other thing, and so suddenly I can't access the page via my phone, and I'm only getting the most recent comments here, so I can't actually see. It's not sort of showing me the comments comments that were made at the beginning of our live. But oh well, what can we do about that? We might see what falls out for Rachel.
Okay.
Rachel, who is also a big fan. And ladies, Julie has very generously donated a complimentary reading, an Arikira reading. All you have to do is go to Medical Intuitive Julie Lewin, join her page, let us know that you've done that on the comments, and we'll put your name into the draw so you can win a 30-minute reading with Julie Lewin. Julie, you were, you've been on. I love last time we had you on, you talked about when you were on telly, you won that show, and you had, 3 years worth of posts to get through.
The extraordinary show, yes. Thousands of letters, yeah.
Wow! So a reading with Julie is quite the gift, ladies. So go and join Medical Intuitive Julie Lewin. Come back and tell us that you've done that. Your name will go into the draw. And we're doing a reading now for Rachel.
Yes. So Rachel, guess what? The intellectual card jumped out. So we've had that card 3 times today.
Unbelievable!
I know. There's 56 cards. And holy.
Wow.
An object or association to God that's deemed sacred. So you can put the word source or universe. But what that's saying to me is so the intellectual is when we get stuck in our mind. But what I'm feeling for you, Rachel, is that you have a lot of creativity, and that comes through your mind, and that's brilliant. And then connect with all that is holy within you, to actually make it manifest. I feel like you've got this incredible creativity, and then you need the down into the connection with source to, and I've got goosebumps like on my legs but not on my arms. So that's about stepping forward. And do you have a singing bowl? I'm feeling a singing bowl is going to be your object, getting you connected with source. So when you have those magnificent creative ideas, actually anchor them in with the singing bowl. That's what I'm getting. I hope that is significant for you, or it's like it will be helpful, but that's what I'm getting. So hopefully that's going to make it a lot easier for you to bring your ideas into fruition.
Fantastic. I love it. And then what do you make of that? I know that there's some kind of message in numerology, for example. If I see if the life path number is the same as the maturity number, then at that soul level, it's a really strong lesson for the individual. What do you make, Julie, of the same card appearing in your readings for different people?
So what that says to me is that card is not just for those people, it's for the entire audience to really listen to. Because this happens to me regularly, because I do my weekly reading over on my page, and time after time the same cards pop up. They're different cards each week, but it's like, okay, we really have to listen to this message.
Yeah.
And I also go, okay, Julie, you've got to listen to this message too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's what I love about the work that we do, that, it's helped us grow better. We share it so it helps you grow better, but in helping you grow better, I'm growing better too. I mean, it's just a beautiful cycle of giving and receiving, healing and being healed, teaching and being taught. I mean, I love it. I just love it. So, ladies, I'm only able to see the top, sort of half a dozen messages. If you did put I do like to be as fair as I can be. We can't do everybody, but each week we are here, usually 6 to 7, but we've come in early today because we have, I actually have somewhere else to be at 6 o'clock. My beautiful niece is having a celebration for her 27th birthday. Good God, I feel old.
And Michele, I wanted to say, behind you, you have that beautiful painting. My symbol for my dad is butterfly.
Oh, yay!
So when I see a butterfly, that I feel my dad. Yes. Yeah. So
I love that, and you just reminded me of another. We're going to do a reading in a moment. We're going to see what falls out for. Now, where did I see it? Donna Campbell.
Okay, so we'll do Donna.
Yeah, do Donna. But you just reminded me that when Mum died, that my mum's name was Hilda, Julie, and I don't remember ever hearing that whilst she was alive. If I heard it, it was so rare. I didn't retain the connection. After my mum died, I was teaching at the time at a spiritual institute in Mangwarrin. After Mum died, I had a student in my class called Hilda. I would switch on the tally and I would see Hilda. I went to a cafe on the other side of town and I thought I'll just pull in here and get a coffee, and the cafe was Hilda. So every time I hear Hilda, I go, hey, Mum.
And I had an Auntie Hilda.
Oh, there you go. That is so great. I love it.
His sister was Hilda. Yeah.
See, spirit, they speak to us all the time. When you're in touch and in tune, it's there, it's happening.
Absolutely. So I have a card for.
Yes. You have a card for. Now I've lost my.
Was it Vanessa? Did I get? Who was that for?
Now I've lost my spot. Yeah, as I say, I normally access the comments through my phone, but what is life if not throwing another challenge at?
So the person who you said, now I can't, was it, do you remember?
I'm just trying to see if I can see it. No, who did I say, ladies? Put your hands up right now. I did say it, and I've it wasn't Tracy. Was it Tracy Stafford? I don't think so. I don't think it was Tracy.
No.
Oh, it was for Donna Campbell. Thank you,
Campbell,
Mandy.
yes. Thank you, Donna.
I love it. Thank you, ladies.
Donna, you get the moral card, which is from the spiritual body, and it says, demonstrate goodness and correctness of behavior. Now, when I see this card, what that's saying to me is that you actually have to follow your heart. It's not about what other people want you to do. It's about what you need to do for you. And it's about your core values and what is right for you. Because, you know, we're all individuals on this planet and we all have our role to play. And, yeah, I got a little tear there, actually. I love this card. It's... See, this is what I love down here. Look at the depth of this. This is the heart, yeah? And it's bring your heart from the depths out and show the world, but do it in your way, not somebody else's way. And, you know, that looks like a lotus flower there. So open out like the lotus, and the lotus comes out of the muddy water and it just shines in its magnificence. So bring you out and shine to the world. That's what I'm getting from you, Donna.
Oh, that's lovely.
Dance to the beat of your drum. That's what I'm getting. Yeah.
We might see what falls out for Jen Joy O'Neill, who's also lost her dad.
Okay. So Jen Joy O'Neill.
Yeah, what a lovely name.
Yeah, I love the word joy.
Yes.
Oh, joy. Jen, now a whole bunch of cards dropped out.
Wow.
Which I'm not going to use all of them. I'm going to use these because they're really magnetic. We get the heavenly card.
Wow.
Sublimed in happiness. The other card is blissful. Joy and happiness, sizzle, bringing blissful abandonment.
Oh, I love it.
And then there was a third card. So this is a special day for you. It's the material card, which is part of the physical body. And it says all that is solid, visible, and touchable equals the material world. But that's not all. That's my message to say we have these other realms as well. So our thoughts and our visions and our creations in our mind, that's all solid. That's all our material world as well, because we can manifest that. So what I'm feeling is that it's possible for you to manifest this year bliss and joy and to be sublimed in happiness.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Yeah, so I see a year of happiness. And that, look, we all have the valleys and the mountains in our life, but I really want you to come back to these two cards and really focus in that you received the heavenly and the blissful card. And even if you can stop the video or I can send you copies of them, I think that they will be great anchors for you as you manifest 2020 into an amazing year. There we go. They're beautiful cards. I love those.
That's lovely. And ladies, again, just going to say again, if you're watching it live and if you listen to this and watch it later, we might keep this open for a week, I reckon. If you go to Medical Intuitive Julie Lewin and like her page, it is, I'll come back into this post and pop the links in there for you. Go and like Julie's page and either comment on Julie's page that you've done that, or here under this post, and you go into the draw to win a 30-minute reading with Julie Lewin, Medical Intuitive. We'll keep it open for a week so that those of you that are listening later can also get involved.
Absolutely.
We're going to see, we're going to see what jumps out for Shoshana White. Julie?
Hey, Shoshana. Let's see.
And Jen said, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Melissa Ireland, I've really enjoyed this segment. Big thank you, ladies. Thank you for watching, Melissa. That's awesome.
Thank you. Okay, Shoshana.
Yeah.
We got 3 cards. This is so exciting.
What? So funny.
I know. We have the academic card relating to education matters. So I've got goosebumps because I'm thinking that you're either going to be learning something new this year or teaching. Now, that's what the card means, but I got teaching, and that's when the goosebumps came through. So if you're not teaching, Shoshana, this is the year to start teaching.
How wonderful.
You've got 2 physical cards. You've got the Master card and the bodily card. So truly engage in the physical experience and be conscious as the body. So, and you'll be a teacher as well. So basically, bring all of you down into your body, like I mentioned for one of the ladies earlier. But what I'm feeling is that truly engage in the physical experience. So when you do your teaching, give people a physical experience, like make it experiential teaching. I hope that is super helpful. I've got goosebumps again. So I can't manufacture goosebumps. The goosebumps are my way of saying this is
spot on.
Team intelligence is giving you a message is really take note. Yeah,
exactly. And don't you feel that I was saying this to someone the other day, that in a reading and even speaking and teaching, anytime you're sharing that gift, Julie, don't you feel it's soul speaking to soul? It's spirit speaking to spirit. You know, we have that human part of ourselves, but and the goosebumps is the sign that you're really saying what they need to hear at that level.
That's right.
Awesome. Now, I don't think did we do one, Patrice? If
No.
Patrice Bagnell, do you think we've done one? I don't think we've done one.
We haven't done one, Patrice. No. Shall we do that?
Yes.
Okay. Let's.
So what falls out for you, Patrice? Patrice.
Is it Patrice or Trish?
No, Patrice. I'm going to say Patrice. Patrice. I think it was.
Yes. Beautiful. Let's see, Patrice. Let's see. Oh, I love this card. It's the intention card. It says, set your desired intention and take action. So, Patrice, if you haven't set your intentions for 2020, I'm going to say today is the day.
Ooh.
Do it today. And see the heart in there? Can you just see that heart?
Yeah.
Set your intention from your heart. And even if it feels like a big, hairy, audacious intention, set it and send it off in a bubble or a balloon and just say, please, universe, manifest that for me. And then you take action. But you don't control the process. You just take your action and it will happen. So that's a beautiful card. It's
awesome.
Saying that it will be.
And the reading you just did for Shoshana, wow, she says, I can feel the goosebumps when you said that. Thank you, thank you. That's so important to me. I'm very grateful. I left my profession as I was unwell. I wanted to teach, so this means so much to me. Confirmation, feeling blessed.
Oh, I'm so thrilled. Really,
so good. And how funny that I've got Marlene down for a reading and she just commented, can I please have a card? Well, yes, you can. I already had you on my list.
Awesome.
Marlene. And ladies, just while on that topic of manifesting for 2020, Julie Lewin is also our special guest at our Future Me 2020 event If you are in Victoria, if you are in Melbourne, particularly if you are on the Mornington Peninsula, or, you know, anywhere sort of down this way, but, you know, even if you're a half hour or an hour away, come to our Future Me 2020 Big Vision event. Beautiful big day, 10 till 4 p.m. and, you know, filled and full of inspirational speakers. We've got teaching, readings, healings. It's not a festival. It's not a market. It's a buy a ticket. It's a ticketed event, and really a day where you are nurtured and pampered and guided. But most importantly, you are shown how to manifest your wildest dreams in 2020. There's a huge collaboration on board, and Julie Lewin is our special guest. And Julie, you've got your own room, and in that room you're going to read, you're going to teach, and you're going to heal, all through Arikira.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful.
Can't wait.
Yay! So it's on Sunday, the 16th of February. I'm going to pop the link, and Future Me 2020 is also sponsored by Spiritual Events Directory. So we feel very grateful, thankful, and honoured to have this amazing sponsorship.
That's awesome.
Yay!
I have some cards for Marlene. Look at that.
Marlene, beautiful.
Now, how many times have we had the angel card today?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, 56 cards, and expect messages from the angelic realm, and it's saying the ultimate emotion is love. So
Beautiful.
I'm feeling for you, Marlene, that the archangels are just flowing in their love for you. I'm getting Archangel Michael and Raphael and Gabrielle. So 3 of the most amazing archangels. I've got goosebumps to my toe tips.
Wow.
And it's messages are just going to be flowing in. And, you know, people talk about feeling that love that is just full and overflowing, and you just go, how did I deserve to feel so much love? That's what I'm feeling for you, Marlene.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely amazing. The goosebumps, the hair is almost vertical on my arms. So the archangels are seriously pouring love into you, and I hope that you can feel it.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
That is really beautiful. And Tracy Stafford, I don't think we've done one for Tracy.
No. So let's see, Tracy.
Let's see
put the cards back in randomly. I knock. So then we wait for the cards to jump out.
It's
because
so
the
good.
universe knows what you need. It's not up to me.
Yeah.
And so let's see what's going to come for Tracy. Now, those 2 cards didn't want to go back in. You're kidding. Look at this.
Intellectual again? Let me see.
Delicious. So we've had this card about 3 times as well.
Wow.
And we've got psychological now. That says that you're being influenced by your emotions right now. And so that's part of the emotional body.
Right.
And this card is a deep belief and reverence for God, source, universe, whatever word you want to use. And so what I'm feeling is to bring the source energy, the universe, that deep reverence and love that you have, really call that into your being, because that's going to help you with whatever emotions are impacting you right now. And I have a little exercise, actually. It's just dropped in, so I know I need to share. Sometimes when we're being, I'm going to use the word, I get battered by our emotions.
Yeah.
There's something, I've got it here.
Oh.
There's something that we can do physically to actually recalibrate. And it's breathe into the count of 5, hold to the count of 5, breathe out to the count of 5, hold to the count of 5, breathe in to the count of 5, and you just keep doing that for 5 minutes. And what happens is you actually regulate your equilibrium again. And instead of being overwhelmed and out of out of sync with that peaceful center, you actually come back into the rhythm. And I know that this works because I was so fraught one night with being yelled at by a stranger, like full on yelled at in my own home. I was shaking like this, and my friend said, Julie, just go out of the house. I'll deal with this. And so I went for a walk, and I thought, I was just beside myself. I said, what can I do? And I got given that instruction: breathe in for 5, hold for 5, out for 5, hold for 5. And in 5 minutes, if you'd have told me that it would be true, I would have said that's not possible, but it happened. The shaking went out of my body, and I came back into that center, and I felt peaceful in 5 minutes. So that's a message for everyone, but I think
wonderful.
A message for Tracy today.
Yes, that's wonderful. Well, Margie said she's definitely, thank you for that. She's definitely going to do that when she's feeling emotionally bruised and battered. And we had the lovely Karina pop in, so we might see what falls out for Karina, and then after Karina, one more, and then that'll be it.
Awesome.
And just while I'm on, I'm talking live on air here about Karina and Margie. Our Future Me 2020 also has some other beautiful sponsors. We've got Spiritus. We've got Spiritus Journey. We've got Karina Francois, Naturopath, Infinite Health Practice. We've got Heal Thy Money Co. and Unique Phoenix. So as well as Spiritual Events Directory and Julie Lewin Medical Intuitive, all sponsoring our beautiful Future Me 2020 Big Vision event. So love to see you there. We'll pop those links in.
Oh, there we go. This one's Karina.
Yippee.
Okay. Karina, this one's the sentiment card, and it's saying deeply emotionally affected by your situation. So I'm not sure what's going on in your world, but what I am going to do is draw the next card, and it's another emotional card, and it says feeling a sensation or opinion based on emotion. And the next card, powerful.
Wow.
Display great strength of character. So what I'm feeling is whatever is happening emotionally for you, you can call on the energy of the powerful card, and that will actually do that. Bring that beautiful, powerful energy through, and it will help with the emotion that's going on right now. So when I see this card, I think of Joan of Arc standing up there in front of everyone with her sword up and basically commanding the universe to bring through that love and, you know, the strength to do what you have to do. And I feel that coming in for you, Karina. And
that is awesome.
I'm just getting another message saying, you're heard. We hear you. So I don't know if you're praying or you're talking, but they're saying we hear you, and we're sending this strength.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Do we do one for Mandy Donoghue?
No.
I'm not sure if Mandy is still watching or not, but I feel that she requested a reading some time ago. Let's do one for Mandy. And that's all we have time for this week, but we're here every Sunday, 6 to 7 p.m, Wellness Conversations, the Woo Woo series presented by our wellness community and sponsored by Spiritual Events Directory.
So we got 2 cards for Mandy, and we got the feeling card. Now I put them randomly back in the deck, and Karina just had that card, a sensation or opinion based on emotion.
Wow.
But you also got the physical body card. So it's saying truly engage in the physical experience. So what I'm feeling there for you, Mandy, is that when emotion is really strong for you, to actually go and do something physical and conduct it. I'm feeling that when you can conduct that energy, even if it's not just the like anger, sorrow, fear, it can be joy and happiness. Sometimes we can't contain those emotions either. Conduct it. and do something physical, and that's to really make a difference in how energy impacts you, how your emotion impacts you. So I hope that is helpful.
That is awesome. You've had some fantastic feedback on all the lovely mini readings that you've done over the past hour, Julie. So, and we'll come back into the post and we'll pop our links in there. So thank you so much to Julie. We love having you on. You'll be on again. You'll be on again within the next month. We'd love to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody out there in Spiritual Events Directory Land for joining us. Your support is invaluable, and we love what we do, and we love doing it for you. So we'll see you next time. Mwah.
Bye.
Yay!